All right, welcome back, curious minds and savvy entrepreneurs, to another deep dive. Today, we're plunging into a topic that honestly impacts every single one of us trying to make our mark online. Here's a mind-boggling statistic to kick us off. Google processes over 8.5 billion searches every single day. Think about that for a second. It's just an ocean of intent, isn't it? But for us as entrepreneurs and small business owners, the real question isn't just about those billions of searches. It's about making sure our business shows up for the right ones. It's about cutting through that immense noise to connect with precisely who needs us.
You've hit on the core challenge right there. Yeah,
Yes.
for many, navigating the world of SEO can often feel like chasing a moving target. One week, it's all about building complex backlink profiles. The next, it's optimizing for something like core web vitals, which, look, they're important for user experience, but they can seem like a deeply technical rabbit hole for a business owner trying to juggle a dozen other things. It's easy to get lost in the ever-shifting landscape of algorithm updates and, trending strategies. But, and this is the foundational truth, kind that remains surprisingly stable, truly effective SEO, the kind that consistently drives qualified leads and ultimately conversions, always starts with understanding and deploying the right keywords. We're seeing a lot of businesses, unfortunately, either picking the wrong ones entirely, maybe focusing on terms that are too broad or far too competitive, or, just as detrimental, using the right ones in all the wrong ways, like keyword stuffing, which can actually harm their online visibility big time.
Exactly. And that's precisely what we're going to unpack today. This deep dive is designed to help you, our listener, rethink how you research, choose, and deploy keywords in your content strategy. It's not merely about getting found. It's about getting clicked by the people who are already halfway sold on what you offer, the ones who are actively searching for your solution. We'll be drawing some incredibly practical and actionable insights from a fantastic source, SEO tips to improve your keyword research, to guide us through this often misunderstood landscape.
Our mission is crystal clear. We want to equip you with the practical, actionable knowledge to transform your content strategy into a true compass. Imagine a compass that doesn't just point north, but points directly to your ideal customer. That's the goal. We want to show you how to build a digital pathway that guides the perfect customers directly to your digital doorstep, people who are genuinely interested, deeply engaged, and ready to interact with your products or services. Throughout this conversation, we'll cover how to move beyond mere hunches and assumptions, how to strategically choose between different keyword types like short tail and long tail, the immense power of leveraging location-based terms, and crucially, how to avoid common pitfalls like keyword stuffing that can actually hurt your online visibility and reputation with search engines.
Okay, sounds like a plan. So let's begin this journey into the heart of effective SEO by really rethinking our approach to keyword research and, maybe even more importantly, understanding the crucial concept of customer intent. So where do we even begin when we're trying to figure out which words our potential customers are actually using? It feels like a huge task. The source we're diving into really emphasizes moving past guesswork, past those gut feelings we entrepreneurs so often rely on. It states directly, and I think this is a truly fundamental insight, your best keywords come from your customers' mouths, what they actually search, not what you think they search. This resonates so much with the entrepreneurial journey, doesn't it? I mean, how often do we as business owners get stuck in our own internal jargon, our own business speak, completely missing how our customers are actually looking for solutions or articulating their needs? It's like we're speaking two different languages sometimes.
You're spot on. It's a fundamental shift in perspective. Absolutely. Think about it. We spend so much time crafting the perfect product name or service description, using language that makes perfect sense to us internally. But if our customers don't search for those specific terms, we're essentially invisible to them online. It's that simple. The real gold is in bridging that gap between our internal language and their everyday needs, understanding their problem-solving vocabulary when they hit that search bar. And this isn't a one-time task you check off a list and forget about. The source rightly describes it as a dynamic process rooted in curiosity and customer empathy. This means it requires ongoing engagement, a continuous willingness to learn and adapt. It's constant learning. It's about constantly asking yourself, what exact words, what specific phrases are users typing into Google when they're looking for a solution that my business provides? It's not about what you call your product or service internally. It's about putting yourself squarely in their shoes, understanding their thought process, and literally hearing their internal monologue, if you will, as they formulate a search query.
Okay, let's unpack this a bit more because it sounds like we need to get inside our customers' heads, which can feel a bit abstract. But thankfully, we don't have to guess blindly here. The article points out several powerful tools that can help us bridge this gap between what we think our customers search and what they actually search. It mentions Google Keyword Planner, Uber Suggest, and Ahrefs. Familiar names to many, I'm sure. What's fascinating here is that these tools don't just spit out a list of popular words. They do so much more. They help you discover high-intent phrases tied to your offerings, which means keywords that signal a strong likelihood of conversion, someone who is ready to buy or engage. That's key. They allow you to see what competitors are ranking for, giving you a crucial peek behind their digital curtain, revealing what's working for them. Super valuable intel. And crucially, they help you identify seasonal trends and local queries, so you can capitalize on timely opportunities like holiday shopping or geographical relevance, understanding searches specifically within your operating area. It's like having a high-powered magnifying glass on your entire market, allowing you to see the microscopic details of search behavior. Really understand the landscape.
That's precisely right. And this brings us to the truly crucial pro tip highlighted in the source. Always prioritize search intent. This isn't just a suggestion. It's the absolute backbone of truly effective keyword strategy. You have to get this right. You have to ask yourself, when someone types a particular phrase into a search engine, what is their underlying goal? What are they really trying to do? Are they looking to buy something right now? That's transactional intent. They're ready to open their wallet. Pretty clear. Are they trying to learn something new or gather information? That's informational intent. They're in research mode, comparing, learning. Or are they looking for a specific website or brand? That's navigational intent. They know where they want to go, like searching Facebook login. The content you create must directly match that intent. It's non-negotiable. For example, if someone is searching for how to fix a leaky faucet, they're probably in informational mode, right? They're looking for a DIY guide, a tutorial, troubleshooting steps. They're not necessarily looking to immediately buy a brand new faucet from your e-commerce store, at least not yet. Understanding that fundamental intent completely shifts your content approach. You wouldn't try to sell them a faucet on that page. That would be jarring. Instead, you'd offer a helpful blog post or video that solves their immediate problem, positioning yourself as an expert and building trust. That's how you nurture them through their journey, moving them from informational to eventually maybe transactional intent down the line. If your content doesn't align with their intent, they'll just click back. They'll bounce away, and you've lost an opportunity.
Okay, so that makes a lot of sense. Intent is king. So what does this all mean for the busy entrepreneur who's trying to get their business noticed and, more importantly, get those sales rolling in? Bottom line, the source quotes Brian Jaglal, founder and managing partner, who says keyword strategy isn't just about visibility, it's about relevance. You want to attract people who are already halfway sold. That's a powerful distinction, isn't it? It's not about being seen by everyone under the sun. It's about being seen specifically by the right people. The ones who are genuinely interested in what you have to offer, the ones who are ready to take action. It shifts the focus from a numbers game. More traffic is always better to a quality game. Better traffic leads to better results.
This really raises an important question for every business owner, one you should constantly ask yourself. Are you aiming for a massive crowd, or are you aiming for a conversion? Because those two goals often require very different keyword strategies. It's a strategic choice. High visibility without relevance. That can lead to a lot of wasted effort, both in terms of time spent creating content and your marketing budget. Big time waste. You might get a ton of traffic. Sure, the numbers look good on paper. But if those visitors aren't actually interested in your offerings, you'll see high bounce rates, people quickly leaving your site, low engagement rates, and, most importantly, very low conversion rates. All that traffic means nothing. It's like throwing a huge party, but inviting everyone in the phone book. You'll have a big crowd, but very few true connections. Very few people who actually wanted to be there. By meticulously focusing on search intent, you're not just drawing eyeballs, you're attracting what we call qualified leads. These are individuals who are deeper into their buying journey. They're not just browsing aimlessly, they're actively seeking specific solutions, actively researching options, and often have a clearer idea of what they need. They've done some homework. These are the people whose needs perfectly align with what your business provides. It's a match. This is where your marketing budget works smarter, not just harder, because every click has a higher potential value. It's efficient. You're inviting the people who actually want to be at your party and maybe buy your product.
Okay, so we firmly established the immense importance of understanding user intent and the need to do proper empathy-driven research. It's about quality, not just quantity. Now, the big question is, how do we actually choose the right keywords for the vast ocean of possibilities? Where do we focus? The article highlights the classic dilemma that every SEO strategist faces: short-tail versus long-tail keywords. Short-tail keywords, like the example given, bakery, are incredibly broad. One word, maybe two. They might seem appealing because they theoretically get more traffic, more search volume. But as the source points out, they're also super competitive and incredibly vague in terms of user intent. Like you said, what do they really want? It feels like shouting into a stadium hoping someone hears you, maybe.
Precisely. Let's really dissect that bakery example again. It's a good one. Someone searching that term could be looking for anything, from a job at a bakery to a recipe for sourdough bread, the nearest place to buy a donut, information on starting a bakery business, or even the history of baking techniques. The intent is just all over the place, almost impossible to discern. And the competition is fierce because every bakery, large and small, is trying to rank for that one single word. It's a battleground. Now, contrast that with a long-tail keyword, something more specific like gluten-free birthday cakes in Charlotte, NC. Much longer phrase. This phrase might attract significantly less overall traffic. The search volume number will be much lower because it's so specific. However, those clicks, they are incredibly high intent. Super valuable. The person searching knows exactly what they want a gluten-free birthday cake and where they want it in Charlotte, North Carolina. They are clearly ready to make a purchase, or very close to it. They are deep in their buying journey. These are the clicks that are incredibly likely to convert into actual business. They're not just browsing. They're in serious solution-seeking mode.
Right. And here's where it gets really interesting. I absolutely love this analogy from the source. Crespo, co-founder and chief brand strategist, describes long-tail keywords as being like handshakes. They're specific, personal, and way more likely to lead to business. I mean, how brilliant is that? It really humanizes what can sometimes feel like a very cold technical process, doesn't it? It's not about shouting into the void. It's about making a specific, personal connection with someone who has a very defined need. It's a warm lead, not a cold call. It's about finding your person in that huge crowd online.
It's about precision targeting, exactly. Right. And the source gives us practical, actionable ways to find these handshake keywords, these highly specific phrases that truly resonate with customer intent. It's not magic. First, it advises us to utilize Google's own built-in features, specifically the People Also Ask sections that pop up in search results. And the related searches suggestions you find at the bottom of the results pages, don't ignore those. These are absolute gold mines because Google is literally showing you what other people are searching for in relation to your initial query. It's direct user data gold. Second, it suggests analyzing competitive blog posts and FAQ pages. Do some digital sleuthing. Think about it. Your competitors are likely already answering common customer questions in their content because they've done some of this work. By looking at their successful content, you can identify the exact questions and needs your shared audience has. What's working for them? These questions, framed by your competitors, can often be directly turned into highly effective long-tail keywords for your own content. Learn from them. And third, and perhaps most importantly, is to cultivate a mindset. Think like a customer trying to solve a specific problem. Really step into their shoes. This means moving beyond general, broad terms to truly understanding the nuanced language, the precise pain points, or the detailed needs that someone would type into Google when they're looking for a specific solution like yours. For example, if you sell specialty coffee, instead of just coffee beans, a customer might be searching best ethical single origin coffee for pour over. Super specific. This approach forces you to consider the context of their search, not just the keywords themselves, but the user's journey and specific need at that moment.
Okay, that distinction between short tail and long tail and how to find those long tail handshakes is super helpful. Now, for anyone out there who runs a brick and mortar business, or even if you're a service provider who serves a specific geographic area, plumbers, electricians, consultants, you name it, this next point is absolutely critical. Location-based keywords. Local SEO. The article states it so clearly. It's not just about ranking high overall, but about ranking where it counts in your actual service area. This seems like such an obvious point when you hear it, but I see so many businesses, especially small ones, overlooking this incredibly powerful strategy. It's almost criminal. They're so focused on maybe global reach or national ranking that they forget to dominate their immediate vicinity where their actual customers live and work.
What's fascinating here is how incredibly effective hyperlocal content can be in helping you truly dominate your immediate market. It's a massive advantage. It's not just about tacking your city name onto the end of a keyword, though that's part of it. The source breaks down several key advantages. First, it enables you to show up in Google Maps and near me searches. Think about how often you do that search. These are some of the most high-intent searches out there, as users are often looking for immediate solutions nearby. Think coffee shop near me when you need caffeine now. Second, It allows you to potentially outrank national brands for area-specific queries. This is huge. A huge national chain might rank for bakery globally, sure, but they're highly unlikely to outrank your local artisan bakery for best sourdough bread in downtown Portland. Because you have that local authority, that local relevance, you have a distinct advantage there that bigger brands just can't easily replicate. And crucially, it helps you build trust with your community. This is softer but so important. When someone sees that you're focused on their specific area, mentioning their neighborhood or local landmarks, it creates an immediate sense of relevance and connection, a feeling that you truly understand their local needs. You're one of them.
That's such a brilliant point about building trust. It really does feel more personal, like you're truly part of their community, not some faceless national corporation. Instead of just a generic wedding planner, the example in the article suggests something much more specific, like eco-friendly wedding planner in Sacramento. Much clearer intent. It even encourages mentioning your specific neighborhood, your zip code, or even specific landmark areas that people in your community would recognize. Real local flavor. Gabriel Crespo, co-founder and head of digital influence, puts it perfectly. Hyperlocal content is how you dominate your block, even if you're still growing your brand. I love that. Dominate your block. It's about owning your territory, digitally speaking, cornering the market right where your customers actually are. This means your SEO efforts aren't diluted across a vast, irrelevant audience. It's focused.
Absolutely. This strategy is an incredibly powerful differentiator, especially for small and medium-sized businesses who might feel intimidated by competing with larger enterprises online. While national brands are pouring vast resources into competing on incredibly broad, high-volume terms like online clothes or software solutions, you can strategically win the local game by being incredibly specific, laser-focused. It's about being the absolute best, most relevant answer for a local query, full stop. When someone types best coffee shop near me or emergency plumber in your specific neighborhood name, you want to be the undisputed top result. That's the goal. And for brick and mortar businesses or service providers, that local relevance often translates directly to foot traffic, phone calls, or local service requests, turning online visibility into tangible, real-world business. It's a targeted, efficient way to grow, focusing your efforts where they will yield the highest return. It's about finding your niche, even if that niche is primarily geographical.
Okay, this is all making so much sense. Find the right keywords based on intent. Leverage long tail and local. Fantastic. So we've talked a lot about how to find the right keywords. Now let's talk about how we actually use them in our content without shooting ourselves in the foot, so to speak, because you can definitely overdo it. The article gives a very strong, unequivocal warning. Avoid keyword stuffing at all costs. Caps lock. Bold, flashing lights kind of warning. We've all seen those websites, haven't we? The ones that just cram the same keyword into every single sentence over and over again, to the point where it becomes utterly unreadable. Honestly, they're not just annoying. They're painful to read and immediately make you question the credibility of the site. It feels spammy, like someone just trying to trick the system, not help me.
You're absolutely right. It's an outdated, harmful, and frankly, very transparent practice. Google sees right through it. Google's algorithms are far, far more sophisticated now than they were even a few years ago. They understand language contextually. They're designed to understand natural language, interpret context, synonyms, related concepts, and prioritize user experience above all else. That's their North Star. The source makes it abundantly clear. Google knows when you're keyword stuffing. It can detect unnatural repetition, forced phrasing, irrelevant keyword placement. And it will not only ignore your attempts to game the system, but it will actively punish you for it by lowering your search rankings. It backfires. This is why the ultimate goal, as the source emphasizes, is to create content that sounds like it was written by a human, not a search bot. Write for people first. It needs to flow naturally, provide genuine value, and answer the user's query comprehensively rather than just repeating a phrase mindlessly.
Okay, so if we can't just cram them in, like we used to maybe 10 years ago, what's the natural, human-friendly way to use these carefully chosen keywords? The guide suggests a few smart approaches. Use keywords naturally in your headlines, H1s, H2s, your subheads, and even in the alt text for images. For those unfamiliar, alt text is the descriptive text you add to images, which helps search engines understand the image content and aids accessibility for visually impaired users. So win-win. This ensures your keywords are present in important visible areas that search engines scan, but without disrupting the reader's experience. It's integrated, not forced. It also provides a rough guideline for frequency. Limit usage to roughly once every 150 words, a guideline, not a strict rule. But, and this is the core message I'm hearing, the ultimate priority should always be readability and delivering genuine value for the reader. Full stop.
If it doesn't sound natural, if it makes a sentence awkward, don't force it. Trust your gut as a writer, as a human.
Yes, the strategic application is paramount. You nailed it. The emphasis has fundamentally shifted from sheer quantity of keywords to their quality, relevance, and critically, their context within your content. How does it fit? It's about how well those keywords serve the reader's intent within the flow of the piece. That 150-word guideline isn't some hard and fast rule Google publishes. It's more of a practical observation by SEO professionals to help maintain natural language flow. It's a helpful check. The real focus, the thing Google actually rewards, is creating content that is authoritative, comprehensive, and genuinely helpful. Be the best answer. The source even cleverly reiterates a powerful point we heard earlier from Brendan Crespo, co-founder and business operations expert, emphasizing that hyperlocal content is how you dominate your block, even if you're still growing your brand. Now, while that specific quote refers to local content, the underlying principle of targeted relevance applies universally across all keyword usage. Whether it's a long-tail keyword for a niche product or a location-based term, the focus must always be on delivering maximum value for the reader within your specific niche, making your content the most helpful and authoritative answer to their query. If your content is genuinely good and relevant, Google will recognize it, regardless of hitting some exact keyword density number.
It feels like we're really coming full circle here, doesn't it? From finding the intent to choosing the words to using them naturally. The article sums it up beautifully, calling keywords the compass of your content strategy. I like that visualization. It's not just about random words scattered around or a checklist of terms you need to hit. It's about having a clear direction, a purposeful way of guiding your ideal customers directly to what they need. It gives your entire online presence a sense of purpose and intentionality. You're not just putting out content randomly, you're charting a course.
Precisely. When keywords are chosen wisely, through diligent research and that deep understanding of customer intent we keep talking about, and then used strategically and naturally within your content, they truly act as a compass, a reliable guide. They guide the right customers, those highly qualified leads we talked about earlier, straight to your digital doorstep. Not just any traffic, the right traffic. The source also touches upon optimizing existing efforts, which is a key point for continuous improvement, especially relevant for business owners already using AI tools, perhaps. It specifically mentions Crespo AI users revisiting their campaign prompts to optimize them with smarter keyword intent, a practical application right there. This highlights that keyword strategy isn't a static task you complete once and forget. It's about continuous refinement and adaptation based on new insights, performance data, and evolving customer needs. It's an ongoing process of tuning your compass, ensuring it always points true north toward your ideal customer.
Okay, that's a great perspective. It's an ongoing process, not a one-off task. So for our listener, for the busy entrepreneur running their business, maybe feeling a bit overwhelmed by all this, what does all this mean for their day-to-day operations? How can they take this knowledge we've just discussed and immediately apply it to their business starting right now? Let's get really practical. #tag practical example use case.
Okay, let's walk through a concrete, practical example that ties all these concepts together. Let's make it real. Imagine for a moment that you run a local artisan bakery. You specialize in unique, custom cakes, think beautiful wedding cakes, special occasion cakes, maybe some niche dietary options like vegan or gluten-free. First, you'd start with real research, moving beyond hunches. Forget just optimizing your website for the very broad, highly competitive term bakery. That's too generic. Instead, you'd fire up tools like Google Keyword Planner or maybe Ubersuggest or Ahrefs if you have access. You might discover that people in your area are actually searching for highly specific, high-intent phrases like custom wedding cakes near me, or vegan birthday cakes in your city's name, maybe even cupcake delivery your specific neighborhood tonight. See how specific? You'd also diligently check what your direct local competitors are ranking for. See what keywords are driving their business. This helps identify gaps or opportunities you can capitalize on. Perhaps you notice a competitor ranking high for cupcakes for corporate events and you realize, hey, you could offer that service too and target that keyword. The research reveals the actual market demand. Second, you'd leverage the power of long-tail keywords. Build content around them. Instead of just having one generic page about wedding cakes, you'd create specific content, maybe blog posts or dedicated service pages, around phrases like custom tiered wedding cakes for rustic barn venues in your rural county name. Notice how specific that is. It links a style, a product type, and a very precise location context. Or perhaps gluten-free mini cupcakes for corporate events in your city's business district. Again, super targeted. These specific descriptive phrases attract people who have precise needs and are much, much closer to making a purchasing decision. Less traffic maybe, but way higher quality. You'd have dedicated blog posts or service pages for each of these, detailing exactly what you offer for that specific search query. For instance, a page on rustic barn wedding cakes might feature photos from barn weddings you've catered, testimonials from those clients, and details about your delivery process to those specific types of venues. Really capture that long tail intent. Third, you'd go all in on location-based keywords, hyper-local focus. Make absolutely sure your website content, your Google business profile, super important, and your blog posts explicitly include terms like bakery in your specific neighborhood zip code, or serving local towns landmarks such as near the old town square, or delivering to the waterfront district. Use recognizable local terms. This strategy dramatically increases your chances of showing up prominently on Google Maps, and for all those crucial near me searches, that's prime real estate. This allows you to truly dominate your immediate geographical area online. You might even have a dedicated Our Service Area page that lists all the specific towns, neighborhoods, or zip codes you serve, naturally reiterating those local keywords. Be explicit. This is how you become the go-to bakery for your community. Finally, and crucially, you'd ensure natural keyword usage, avoiding any form of stuffing. Write like a human. Your website copy wouldn't just cram the word bakery or custom cakes everywhere unnaturally. That turns people off. Instead, a headline on your homepage might be something inviting and descriptive, like your go-to artisan bakery for custom tiered wedding cakes in your city. Clear and helpful. Your product descriptions would then naturally and seamlessly weave in terms like, our delicious vegan birthday cakes are baked fresh daily using organic ingredients and are perfect for any celebration in your specific neighborhood. See how it flows. The content would read beautifully, providing value, showcasing your expertise, and sounding like it was written by a passionate human baker, not a robot trying to game a search engine. It's all about creating content that truly serves your customer, answers their questions clearly, and shows them you understand their needs without sounding artificial or spammy.
Wow. What stands out to me here in that very clear step-by-step example is how these strategies, when combined, they create a really clear, almost frictionless path for customers who already know pretty much what they want. They're looking for you. It feels less like traditional, maybe interruptive marketing, and much more like genuinely helpful problem solving. You're meeting them where they are. You're anticipating their exact needs based on their search and providing the perfect solution right there. That feels like a powerful way to build a loyal customer base and, frankly, a much more enjoyable way to run a business. It's about being truly useful, not just visible. Hashtag outro.
Absolutely. This deep dive has hopefully highlighted that effective keyword strategy isn't just some technical SEO task you hand off to an intern or an agency and forget about. It's really a profound exercise in understanding your customer's intent, their pain points, their journey, and the specific language they use to articulate their needs. By consciously moving beyond mere hunches or internal jargon, by strategically selecting those specific long-tail and local keywords that resonate with real customer intent, and by integrating them naturally and readably into valuable content, you are building a highly relevant, deeply effective pathway directly to your most qualified leads. You're not just casting a wide net hoping for anything. You're using a highly targeted fishing line with the perfect bait to catch exactly the fish you want.
Yeah, well said. Ultimately, it's about searching smarter, not harder, right? Both for you as the business owner trying to be found efficiently, and perhaps more importantly for your customers who are just trying to find exactly what they need without wading through irrelevant results. You're not just trying to get found by anyone. You're striving to be the precise, perfect answer to someone's specific need at the moment they have it. That's the real power of this approach, I think, transforming random clicks into genuine connections and ultimately into loyal customers.
So as you go about your week digesting all this, we want to leave you with a provocative thought to mull over, something to really reflect on for your own business. What specific problem, what specific question are your ideal customers typing into Google right now in their exact words? And are you currently using their words, their language in your content to meet them there and solve it?
That's a great question to sit with. How can understanding this deeper level of customer empathy, this focus on their exact language, transform not just your marketing efforts, but maybe even your entire business strategy? How you develop products, how you describe services. Take one small, actionable step this week. Just one. Reevaluate just one of your core keywords or a key piece of content using the insights we've shared today. Look at the intent, look at the language. We're confident you'll not only see the difference in your traffic over time, but more importantly, in the quality of the leads and customers you attract. We believe in smarter growth for every business. Thanks for diving deep with us today.